You can order the CV axle used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Turn your engine off and set the parking brake. We recommend loosening the nut on the end of the transmission once the vehicle is on the ground. If your vehicle is equipped with aluminum rims, you will need to remove the wheel first before you can remove the central rim cover. Use a breaker bar and a 30mm socket to unblock the nut on the end of the transmission. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels. In order to change the CV axle on your vehicle, you will need to take off the wheels to have full access. Lift the front of your vehicle. Place the vehicle on the jack stands. We strongly suggest watching our video on how to jack your Toyota Camry safely before carrying out this step. Don't forget to put the wheels under the vehicle. Finish unscrewing the nut on the end of the transmission. It is now necessary to remove the caliper assembly. Turn the disc outwards. This will facilitate the following steps. Using a socket wrench and a 17mm socket, unscrew the two holding screws on the caliper mount. Tip: attach a piece of electrical cable or a hook to one of the strut spring coils. Remove the caliper assembly and hang it on the hook. Then, remove the disc. Using a ratchet, an extender, and a 10mm socket, unscrew the ABS sensor's retaining bolt. Then, remove the sensor. Next, disengage the strut from the wheel knuckle. Brush the two strut foot bolts, then spray them with penetrating oil. Next, using a ratchet, a 22mm socket, and a 22mm wrench to prevent the bolt from rotating, unscrew the strut foot nuts. Then remove the bolts. You can use a pin punch and a hammer to help you remove them. Separate the strut foot from the wheel knuckle by prying it using a large screwdriver. Then shift the wheel knuckle by disengaging it from the front CV axle. It is now necessary to release the CV axle. Use a crowbar to pry the CV axle out of the gearbox. Then pull the CV axle out completely. It might prove difficult to extract. Hey, it's Alex from CarParts.com. If you enjoyed this video and want to support us, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, back to work. You can order the CV axle used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Take the new CV axle and unscrew the nuts applied with it. Reinsert the CV axle into the gearbox. You must now fit the CV axle back into the wheel knuckle. Insert the wheel knuckle into the strut foot. Replace the bolts. Then screw the nuts back on, by hand at first. Screw the strut foot nuts back on until they make contact, using a ratchet, a 22mm socket, and a 22mm wrench to prevent the bolt from rotating. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Before installing the ABS sensor, we recommend that you thoroughly clean its location using a wire brush. Insert the sensor into its housing. Then, retighten the retaining bolt. Reinstall the brake disc. You can now reinstall the caliper assembly. And screw it back on. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Don't forget to remove the cable that you used to hold the caliper assembly together. Replace the hub nut. You can purchase the parts we used here by visiting our website at CarParts.com. Then you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle. Put the car back on the ground and block the wheels properly. Finish tightening the hub nut once the vehicle is on the ground, using a torque wrench. Crimp the nut on the end of the transmission using a pin punch and a hammer. Put the central rim cover back on. Operation complete.